I saw a man driving a very nice car. And when I saw the man, something just told me to like just go and talk to the man and tell him, hello sir, I admire the way you are dressed. I admire the car you are driving. How can I be like you? I desired it for a very long time. And I saw other people. I mean, I saw people in my car that, I mean, I'd bought the vehicle and I was like, I need my own vehicle. And I was calculating my finances. I was calculating my income and I realized that it is not practical in the next 5 years to buy one. 5 to 10 years. But I could see that when I sleep, I could see the thing, you know. When I see the vehicle by the roadside, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I need. Oh God. I didn't have the money to buy it. I didn't buy it with my money. Somebody sent the money to my account. I was like, what is this?
Not just about the car, but sometimes we just look at the aura of the person and we're like, wow, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing to lose. Oh, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. But they will never be rich. Why? Because when they see 200 Ghana cedis with this number of people, okay, and then they produce this certain sound, the sound is able to do this. It is crazy. That is just the power of sound. He wrote to Barack Obama, wrote to Michelle Obama, just emailed
Vusi Tembakwayo.
He emailed Vusi Tembakwayo. That was the first time he actually got in contact with him. Let me tell you one thing about the human brain.
So this is an unplanned conversation that we are having. It was just from an experience I had. On my birthday, I went out on a solo date. I hope you know what a solo date is.
Yes, I do.
Solo date.
Well, it's one thing that we advise a lot of young people to do. You know,
how important is it?
The people that are thinkers, okay, usually some of them stay at home, but most of them go out to places that they can be inspired. Number one, it helps you to, you know, get inspiration to do the things that you need to do. And number two, it helps you meet like-minded people, because sometimes you think that the decisions that move the world are made in the offices. They are made on dates. They are made on dinner reservations. They are made in eateries and restaurants. They are made in the golf clubs, you know, places where people can go and wind down. That's where the most important decisions are made. So if you want to interact with people that are operating on that level, sometimes you should just go out. You know, you never know what you'll find.
You don't necessarily need to have a girlfriend, a boyfriend to plan on a date.
You can just go by yourself. That's a date with yourself. And one thing, okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that one thing that I've learned, and this I learned from God, from reading the Bible. I was just observing how God made the earth, and I realized that the Bible talks about there was nothing. It's just God was just sitting there in silence. The only activity we see is that the Holy Spirit was just brooding over the waters. Can you imagine that scenario in Genesis chapter 1 verse 1?
Yeah.
Where creation was about to be birthed, right? There was chaos everywhere, but then the Bible says that the Holy Spirit was hovering, he was brooding over the waters in silence. You see, and it was from there that the voice spoke that let there be light.
And there was
light. So creativity was even birthed out of silence. So sometimes you just need that to create that atmosphere for yourself where you have calmed your mind down and you are in silence, not necessarily in seclusion, but then you are in silence, you know, to think and to plan and to get inspired to create.
I didn't plan on what I was going to get out of the place. But surprisingly, I came out there with a lot of big ideas.
Wow.
For this particular podcast.
Wow.
I realized that most of the big guys, business people, go out occasionally to such places to wind down, as you said earlier. But I asked myself, what impact can I drive out of this place? And I realized that I tell stories of business people. I tell stories of people who have overcome life challenges. And all these people here have problems. How can I do it? That is where you come in. How do you think we should make our mind feel in such an instant to get the best out of the place?
The Bible says that give and it shall be given to you. It says give and it shall be given to you. So it means that in the equation of getting advantage, the first thing you have to do is to give.
Okay.
Right. So I think in a situation like that where you find yourself, you find opportunities like potential everywhere, and you see leverage everywhere, and then you are looking for a way to take advantage of it, you have to think of what you can give.
Okay.
Right. So as you have gone to a place and then you've met people of high value that you want to attract their attention, what can you give them? And in your particular case, what you can give them is you can give them a platform to tell their story.
Absolutely.
And so give, and it shall be given to you. I was speaking with Futures Kwame the other day, and then he was telling a story about how he was able to get people to come on his show during the COVID period.
Sure.
And he tells the story. He said he wrote to Barack Obama, wrote to Michelle Obama, just emailed what's his name?
Vuzi Tembakwaya.
He emailed Vuzi Tembekwayo. That was the first time he actually got in contact with him.
And Gary.
Yes, you've.
I think I've watched that interview.
Yeah. So he said he just emailed them, and then to hell. So what do you lose in light of that story? What do you lose when you just put yourself out there? Just make that bold step. Let me tell you a story. There was one day I saw a man driving a very nice car. And when I saw the man, something just told me to just go and talk to the man and tell him, "Hello, sir. I admire the way you are dressed. I admire the car you are driving. How can I be like you?"
And this is something practical. We see this all the time. Yeah. Sometimes you are walking around and you see someone driving a luxury car. Not just about the car, but sometimes you just look at the aura of the person and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to lose. I think one thing that is wrong with our generation is we are too afraid. We are too scared. We are too scared to make the move. We have 1,000 excuses why we can't make the move, you see, and that's one of the things that is limiting our potential. Just have to make the bold step. What does it take away from you? He will say, "Oh, don't come and talk to me." Then you know that at least if he says, "Don't come and talk to me," what right do you have to come and talk to me? Then you know at least you tried, right? But the worst thing is to walk away knowing you never tried. You never took the step. Let me tell you one thing about the human brain. You see, there's two aspects to our brain. And the neuroscientists shouldn't come for me for this. I'm not a neuroscientist. But then just from, the things that psychologists have studied. You see, there is the brain that we have inherited. There was this experiment that was conducted some time ago by scientists. And they realized that for every rat, that has been stunned by a stun gun, or that has been stunned by an electric fence, when they give birth, up to the fourth generation, even if the fourth generation haven't experienced a shock from the electric fence, they are instinctively afraid of a fence.
Okay.
Because of the experience of their ancestors. And that's something that people underestimate, the power of the kind of brain and mentalities and ideologies that you have inherited. You see, imagine human beings 1,000 years ago, where they were 1,000 years is too close. Let's say 3,000 years ago. Where they were still living in caves and they were living in the great outdoors, right? That was a situation where the least mistake that you do, if you don't build boundaries, if you don't build walls around yourself, a tiger can just leap out of the bush and then consume you, because you had no walls, right? So we grew accustomed in that time to building walls, to making sure that we are confined in spaces for safety. And that was essential during that time. But then realize that we are living in a day and age that a tiger will not come out, leap out, and then take off your head by the roadside on your way to work on a Monday morning. But we have inherited that mentality. That's what we call the monkey brain, right? It is the brain that wants you to be confined. It wants you to be safe. Right? So you just want to go and talk to a girl and take her number and, just connect, and your heart is pumping like a tiger will take off your head. Where is that idea coming from? What's the worst thing that can happen?
That's what we call the monkey brain.
Yeah. It's responsible for so many things. Our procrastination, responsible for a lot of things, a lot of the negative things that the decisions that we take that we know are not the best things for us, but then we still end up taking it anyway, out of fear, out of anxiety. All of those things are caused by that. You see, those limiting beliefs, those inherited biases.
Wow.
So before let me land this one. So you see, there is a brain that wants you to build boundaries, but there's also that brain that is learned, the brain that wants you to expand, the brain that is curious, wanting you to do things. Okay, but these two brains are constantly in a war, right? Okay. And it is up to you to feed the side of you or the brain that allows you to be able to expand. Take the bold step. Don't let the monkey brain keep you limited, right? But you should always be aware of it. It will always be there on some level.
I have chanced on a book. The title of the book is The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And the first paragraph, the first page, it took something out of me.
Wow.
For me to see the world in a different view from what I have been programmed with from birth. It means that if I want to change my paradigm, I need to deviate, delete, and recycle all the beliefs that I have known from years. And that is a whole job to do.
It's a whole job. And unfortunately, it's incumbent upon us all.
Yes.
To do that work. We need to unlearn things. Need to unlearn, relearn. That's why a growth mindset is very important, especially for us young people, that as we are coming up, okay, a growth mindset. Allow yourself to understand that it's not everything that you know that is true, okay? And everything you don't know, you can know. You see, to allow yourself the room to go and explore new things, new ideas, and then make them part of the things that make you who you are.
Okay.
You see,
wow.
So you have to learn, you have to unlearn, you have to relearn.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's
a lot, especially for us in this part of the world. There are so many things that we were brought up with that, I mean, come on, look at the environment that some of us are brought up in. How can you grow up in an environment in the village with parents that are always trying to manage everything and not have a scarcity mindset?
Wow.
You are definitely going to have a scarcity mindset unless your parents are very intentional about it. And how many parents are able to do that? You see, so most likely you're going to grow up with a scarcity mindset, and that's going to keep you limited. So what do you have to do? You have to relearn. You have to unlearn. And that's one of the things that I'm always, I catch myself. Yeah, I need to I catch myself in the moment, and I realize that more re-education has to happen.
Charlie, before we relearn a lot of things.
It's
I'm
crazy.
being honest to you.
It's crazy.
Where does the amygdala comes in?
The amygdala is the part of your brain that wants you to settle for the current situation and labels every other thing as untrue or impossible.
Wow.
There's that part of your brain that doesn't want to accept anything that it doesn't already know by experience to be true.
That's the amygdala.
Yeah. That's what it basically does. Okay. It tries to, so the person is going through life, okay, spending his money, eating hand to mouth, and you tell the person, okay, this 100 cedis that you are earning, if you employ a strategy, give yourself 2 years, you will no longer be eating hand to mouth, even if that 100 cedis income does not change. The person will be like, sorry, that we can't them up. And how can somebody who's earning 100 Ghana cedis a month in this our modern Ghana break free from eating hand to mouth? It
looks so impossible in their mind.
You see, the amygdala will convince you that it's not possible. I was speaking with a lady. Okay, she saw my video, the podcast that we made, and then she made contact, and then we were talking, and then she was telling me how it's difficult. That, how can she break free, her business breakthrough? And she's doing a buy and sell business.
Okay.
Right. A very small scale buy and sell business. She's a student. She's taking care of herself and everything. And so I told her that, Charlie, what you need is strategy. Don't manage your business finances like you manage your personal finances.
I see.
You see, and for most small scale operators like that, you realize that their business finance is not even separate from their personal finances. So I looked at her business and I realized that the business is what is feeding her. The business is what is taking care of her transportation. The business is what is taking care of like her utility and other things. So she started with an initial income of about 2,000. Okay, and that 2,000, the business is highly profitable, but she's not seeing growth because that business is paying for a number of things. Okay, and I looked at her and I asked her a few questions about her personal life, and I realized that she doesn't have any strategy to manage her personal life. So when I told her about how she can implement a strategy to manage her finances in a way, even at the scale that she is operating, in a way that will give the business some prospect of growth, and she won't even listen to the strategy and then come to the discussion table to realize, oh, can I do this? Can I not do that? Immediately, the amygdala kicks in. It's like, this is not possible, and that's one thing that really kills a lot of potential, because you hear something from a podcast, you hear something from somebody of value speaking value into your life, and you cannot get past your own brain to recognize the value in what the person is saying. You see, it's tragic.
How can people train their amygdala to overcome fear, anxiety, and limiting beliefs?
I think that comes with everything that has got to do with your mind. It comes with a lot of repetition and a lot of intentionality. You see, the subconscious mind is very powerful. It's very powerful. And those biases that you set in your mind as you are growing, some of the scripts that you have in your mind, you didn't even write them.
Yeah.
You see, but over time, they are slowly built by the things that you hear, the things that you see, the things that you agree with, the things that capture some of your emotions. Okay, those things write your subconscious, it writes the operating system of your mind, right? And so to unwrite them, you have to be very intentional. You have to be very intentional about what you consume. Watch a lot of podcasts, right? A lot of podcasts by people that are actually making impact, okay? And suppress that edge of disbelief. That's the first thing. So watch a lot of podcasts, read books, and be open-minded, right? Podcasts, books, be open-minded, and be willing to try new things. If it fails, you have not lost anything. If you succeed, you've broken through.
The conscious mind and the subconscious mind, which of them pushes you to settle for less?
That's a tough question.
I know.
Between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, which of them pushes you to settle for less? I would say it's the subconscious mind. Because you see, the truth of the matter is, as you are awake, okay, you think it is the conscious mind that is in control, but it is the subconscious mind that writes the dictates. It's the subconscious mind that writes the rules. It's the subconscious mind that sets the ceiling and sets the floor. It is what decides, okay, it's like being in your father's house. You see, when you're in your father's house, you have the freedom to do a lot of things. So you feel like you are free. Until you take a stone and then you hit his TV. That's where you realize that there are some boundaries in place. So that's like the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. The conscious mind is your own free will.
Wow.
Bouncing around. You can go up the stairs. But the subconscious mind has set the ceiling. And they have set the rules of what you can do and what you cannot do. So you roam freely with your subconscious mind within the boundaries of your You roam freely with the conscious mind within the boundaries of your subconscious mind.
Wow.
You see? So it's the subconscious mind that you need to rework. That is a part that you need to rewrite. That is the operating system. You see, when you go on your laptop, you realize that it has some icons, it has some things. You just click the icon, the app opens. But there's something really behind that you don't see. That is controlling how everything works. Okay, that is the operating system.
Wow.
And in the context of this our conversation, that is the subconscious mind. That is what dictates the inner workings. It dictates how things should work together. When this button is pressed, this is how the response should be. right? The conscious mind has a role to play, but the subconscious mind has written the rules within which the conscious mind can obey.
And the conscious mind obeys.
It obeys. It is completely obedient to the subconscious mind. But the interesting thing about it is that the subconscious mind can be written or is written by the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is influenced by the conscious mind. Right? It's influenced mainly by two things. It's by the conscious mind, it's by the thoughts and the emotions. Right? These are the controlling factors to the subconscious mind. But once the subconscious mind is written, the conscious mind now submits to its edicts. Right? So that's basically how that works. So for young people, Charlie, we have a lot of work to do on our minds. We have to consciously, we have to be very intentional about programming our mind.
Wow.
About programming our mind.
And to give clarity to what we are talking about, there is this quote that I saw online, if you can permit me to read it, by Neville Goddard in 1944. And he says, the conscious is personal and selective. The subconscious is impersonal and non-selective. The conscious is the realm of effect. The subconscious is the realm of cause. These two aspects are the male and female divisions of consciousness. The conscious mind is the male mind, and the subconscious mind is the female mind. Do you agree with him?
So basically, he has said the thing so well.
No.
You see, the subconscious mind is impersonal. Just like, because I'm a software person, I'm always relating everything to code. And this is perfect, right? It's a perfect similitude. You see, with a computer only understands what you tell it to do. But immediately you define the rules, it will play by the rules. You see? And the subconscious mind is exactly like that. It's like a blank slate that you now write. It doesn't matter whether the thing that you are writing goes against you, or it goes against who you are, or it goes against the advantages that you could have. It will receive it obediently. But then after it is set in stone, it now becomes a controlling factor. Right? And your conscious mind, that's why many people are there. They are like, oh, I want to be rich. 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 But they will never be rich.
Okay.
Why? Because when they see 200 Ghana cedis, okay, and 200 Ghana cedis is all that they have in their account. When, for example, if they have 200 Ghana cedis in their account and they have to give an offering, they will think about, hey, 200 Ghana cedis. Hey, if I give 50 cedis as an offering, what will I eat in 2 months' time? You see, they want to be rich, but they are afraid to spend. They are afraid to invest. What about if I put this thing in this investment and it doesn't work? You know, it's like the way they approach money is with fear and apprehension. How can you attract money when that is how you really subconsciously, how you feel about money? The mind. Okay, let me put it this way. The world is just a mirror. Reality is just a mirror. What you see outside is only a reflection of what is inside you.
Oh.
Let me give you a scientific proof of that. You see that you are looking at me right now, you are seeing me right now. I'm so real, right? But do you know that the thing that you are seeing is an interpretation of your mind? I am here as I'm talking to you. The voice that you are hearing, it's not actually my voice, it's the interpretation of your mind.
Wow.
Because I'm just making vibrations, right? But those vibrations will hit your eardrum, and it's up to the mind to interpret it to you. So however you are hearing my voice, it's just an interpretation of your mind.
Wow.
Right? So in that context, you realize that all reality is by interpretation. There are people that, you know, they are tone deaf. As I'm talking right now, if they were sitting down hearing me, they will not be hearing my voice the way you are hearing it. Right? Yeah. So the same voice that is speaking, people will hear it differently based on their own physiology. So that's why I say reality is just a mirror. It's by interpretation.
I see.
Of what is inside you. right? So if you hear something and the operating system inside you has already written some law against it, what do you think your interpretation will be?
Very negative.
It will be negative.
It will be hard for you to believe it.
Yes. So you have to know that if you want to rework your reality, you have to start with what you believe. Think and grow rich. I'm taking it away from the Bible. So you see, the work starts from the mind, because the things that you believe, that is what influences your interpretation. Right? That's what influences your interpretation, and it's the interpretation that is the cause to the effects that you see. How you see things, how you perceive it. Okay, that is what determines the effects that come out, come of it. So imagine that somebody will wake up, two people are in conversation, and then one person is like, as for this my country Ghana, this our country Ghana, will it ever be well? Everything we import, everything we have to import, we don't manufacture anything here. What is the government doing? Okay, and the person sees a problem. Then the other person in the conversation hears what he's saying and it's like, wow, this is an opportunity. Okay, so he starts his research and then starts looking into the things that he can manufacture here. Okay, to now get into the space. Then he goes and then he finds that, oh, you can use coconut husk for all sorts of things. He does the research, finds the funds, and then sets up a factory that turns coconut into carpets, or coconut into roofing sheets, or plastic bags into roofing sheets. Okay, these two people, they are faced with the same situation. They are faced with the same phantom reality, but at the end of the day, it is their interpretation, the operating system that is running in their minds. One sees a problem, one sees an opportunity. And that's the dynamic. You speak to a lot of young people, they have a lot of complaints. And each of those complaints is a business. But then it depends on how you are interpreting. You are interpreting it.
Wow.
If you find the business in it, it will bring you success. It will bring you income. If you find a problem in it, all you experience is a problem.
Wow.
You see, so the work starts with the mind. You have to retrain the mind. If you step out of your worrying, you will definitely walk into your solution.
This is one of the things that breeds worrying. In my perspective about people, I've had a chance to sit down with certain people to talk about this and realize that we judge our level of achievement with that of others. One of the things we can do to ease the tension of worrying is to be grateful, and two, Titi, I feel like we have to congratulate ourselves for how far we've come, regardless.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have a lot of things to achieve in life, but you've also come a long way.
You've come a long
Why you be?
I was thinking about recently, to tie into your what you're just saying. I was just a few weeks ago, I was just sitting down and I was thinking through my life. Like assessing some of the things, and I realized that there are some things in my life that I wanted so badly. Okay, and when I didn't have them, I felt like they looked impossible, right? And 1 year, 2 years into the thing, God just did it. Right? I have some mighty testimonies. Then, after I got those things, and then I got used to them, then I started thinking about the things that I did not yet have. I did not yet have, and it caused me so much frustration. And I was just sitting down, looking through all those moments, looking at it in hindsight over the past 5 years. Looking at all the things I've been through and the mental states and then the blaming that I've blamed God and all of those things. And I realized that, Charlie, you have to grow up. You have to grow up. Because at the end of the day, God has done a lot for you.
Sure.
And I like the way you put it. It makes you ungrateful.
Makes you ungrateful. Let's talk about one important thing and then we wrap up on our conversation.
Okay.
My dad of blessed memory. There's one thing he kept telling me when I was young. Words have power. Words have power. That's one thing my dad kept telling me. It has been like a golden inheritance. And that has carried me along. And I think one of the things that I do to build up my subconscious mind is to use words of affirmation. Do you believe in that?
I do. Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. And God said,
And God said, let there be.
And there was. Jesus was talking to his disciples, and then he said, if you have faith, okay, I say he that has faith even as little, I'm paraphrasing, he has faith as little as a mustard seed, will say to this mountain, be moved and be cast into the sea,
and it will obey.
And it will obey. You see, if you are able to speak and then not doubt the things that you speak for yourself, okay, but the thing is that the thing about it that makes a lot of people not see results when it comes to like speaking things out and then seeing the manifestation of it is two things. The Bible says you believe in your heart and then you speak with your mouth. You believe in your heart, you speak with your mouth, right? When you say things that you don't believe in your core, okay, at the end of the day, it just becomes a vain pronunciation. There is no power behind it. Even Jesus said it. He said, if you don't doubt it in your heart, then you shall have what you have spoken. You see, if you say the thing and you don't doubt it in your heart, then you shall receive that thing that you have spoken. You see, so I believe it. I believe that words are powerful. Words are powerful. Even imagine this: when you are in your house, let's say with your parents, and your parents say something maybe bad about you, or they criticize you harshly. See the way it hurts. That is power.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
That is a word spoken. Right. That does not take anything away from you.
Right.
That does not physically harm you in any way. Harming you in a very tangible way. That is power. I think that's the easiest. Somebody insults you by the wayside, and the way it can affect your day, affect how everything happens within the rest of your day, just because of that one pronouncement, should tell you that you should be able to also speak things for energies to alter.
The frequencies
to align. For things to come together.
Wow.
I think speaking is infinitely powerful.
Wow.
Because even to become saved, to go to heaven, you have to speak something. You have to confess something.
Yeah.
Look at how powerful it is. That to have an eternal inheritance, all you have to do is just to speak. I think that sums it up beautifully.
Wow.
Even to have an eternal inheritance, all you need to do is speak. Believe in your heart
and speak it.
You see?
The power of words.
The power of words. Words are so powerful. The thing about it is that science. Should I take you a little bit deep?
Sure.
So, if you read Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, if you read it in English, you will not see this. But then if you read it in the Hebrew, the Bible says, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim viet haaretz. Right? What it's saying is that in the beginning created God, then the earth there is not translated. The earth there is basically the Aleph Tav. Okay, the Aleph Tav is the first letter and the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, or Aleph-bet as we call it, right? But that word there it stands for a vibration. When you hear vibration, what comes to your mind? Frequency. When you hear frequency, what comes to your mind? Sound. Right? So in the beginning, dispatched God the sound. Or in the beginning, created God the word. Right?
Yeah.
And the word created the heavens and the earth. And by that same word, he hooked up the heavens to the earth. That's a translation in the Hebrew.
Wow.
Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So it means that even for God to create anything, he first released a sound. He first released the vibration. It's right there in Genesis chapter 1 verse 1.
I see.
And even if you look at science, everything in existence is vibration. Did you know, let me tell you this fun fact. Did you know that if you multiply the key of C, or let me say if you go up the scale, okay, the key of C, if you go up 40 octaves, it becomes the color red.
Wow. And what's the significance?
The significance is that this color that you are seeing is actually a sound.
Wow.
Right? The basis of all manifested things is frequency, because everything is energy. Do you get it? So sound is the basis and the fabric of the universe. According to Genesis chapter 1, it was by the sound that God created the heavens and the earth. And it's by that same sound that he hooked it up. That's what the V8 means. Right? He hooked up the heavens to the earth by that same sound, by that same frequency. And that sound, I'm going deep.
Wow.
Right? So it means that even to get anything done, sound plays a vital role. There was a research by an English scientist who went to the Himalayan mountains to go and study those Tibetan monks, right? And then he was shocked. This is documented. I think there's a video on YouTube. You can look into it.
Sure.
Right? The Himalayan monks were able to leverage sound to cut a rock. Let's say a mountain. They have these drums and those their bowls and stuff that they used to create the sound. And then they were just by the sound, they were able to cut the rock and use the sound to lift the rock from the mountain and gently settle the rock down by the sound.
Wow.
Just sound. That's the power that sound carries. And they have studied it as a science. And they know that if we arrange the drums this way with this number of people, okay, and then they produce this certain sound, the sound is able to do this. It is crazy. That is just the power of sound. And I'm not surprised, because the Bible has already mentioned it. It says the heavens and the earth are hooked up by the sound.
Yeah.
You can move a mountain. So if Jesus comes and he says, you can move this mountain by a sound, just speak it and don't doubt it. And this mountain will move. You should believe it, because sound is that powerful. And that is the understanding that we should have about our words.
Wow.
When we release a sound, we release mysterious frequencies and energies that goes out there. Wow. And then goes to accomplish things. Even God says that his word, when he releases his word, it doesn't come to the earth and come back to him without accomplishing anything. But it must accomplish what he sent it for. Meaning that the words that God speaks, they come to accomplish things. And if you are like God, then it means that the words that you speak should also accomplish things.
Wow.
You see, so as for me, I believe personally that words, because I'm a musician, I understand these things.
Yes, true.
Right? Words are extremely powerful.
Very powerful. If you are watching us, do you believe that words are powerful? Leave a comment in the comment section. Do you know that your comment favors the algorithm to help us reach millions of viewers out there? Leave a comment in the comment section. Like this video, share. I'm here with Titi. Today we are not talking about business. We're talking about the mindset. We're talking about subconscious mind. Now let's look at the last thing, then we bring our conversation to a close.
Okay.
In the beginning of the year, there's this thing I learned from a mentor, something we call vision board. If you want to buy maybe a Range Rover, you print pictures of Range Rover. The things you want to see manifesting in your life, you put them in your vision board and then you hang them in your room. And do you know the most important aspect of this vision board? I was just putting the vision board anywhere. And he said, no, that's not the way to do it. Put the vision boards at places you can easily see, visible places, like where you brush your teeth every day. So that anytime you see the vision board, anytime you see the vision, it reminds you. Imagination, where does it also hold in our subconscious beliefs?
Lee, today you're taking me to deep places. One thing you have to understand is that thoughts are substance.
Wow.
The definition they taught us about matter, they didn't completely define it. Because you see, if you define matter as anything that has mass and occupies space, what do you do with thoughts? Thoughts are substance.
Wow.
Thoughts are substance. Thoughts are tangible things. Right? No wonder the Bible says that as a man thinketh, so is he. Right? As he thinketh, so is he. The substance of what you see about a man is his thoughts. Right?
Yeah.
In another version, he says that, in another scripture, he says that faith is the substance of things that you hope for. Right? Faith is a substance. And faith is just your state of mind. You know, it is the substance of the things that you hope for.
Wow.
So faith is what substantiates the things that you hope for. You see, so thoughts are things. Imagine that God called Abraham and then he says, come, let's go, I'll give you a land. Then he takes Abraham on this journey, takes him through the land. Then when it comes to the point where he separates with Lot, God told him, look from where you are. As far as you can see, I will give to you. And I think that is a perfect wrap up of the thing that I want to say. As far as you can see, that is the substance you can acquire. One thing I keep asking myself is, he says, stand here, look from where you are, as far as your eyes can see, to the east, to the west, to the north. I will give you that land. I don't know where in Kumasi you can go and stand. Where in the Ashanti region, where in Ghana you can go and stand that you see the borders of Ghana.
It looks impossible.
It is not possible.
I was just trying to be on the safer side. It is not possible.
It is not, unless you elevate to some height. I don't think there's any mountain here in Ghana that you can stand on that you see every aspect, every part of Ghana.
What do you think was going through Abraham's mind at that time?
So the question is, what was Abraham able to see when God asked him to see? That defines the borders of Israel. It was mental.
Goodness.
Because God had already taken him through the land. He had taken him through Negev. He had taken him through the land of, the Amorites. He had taken him through the land. Then he brought him to one place. As far as your eyes can see. So I think Abraham could just imagine all the different places he has seen. I want this. When God was taking the Israel, he says, I'll give you the land of the Amorites. I'll give you the land of the Hittites. I'll give you the land of these people. It was people's land that Abraham saw and then claimed for himself. The power of vision, imagination.
Wow. So at that time, the only defense of Abraham was his imagination.
What could he see in his mind?
My goodness.
Because I'm not sure how far he could see.
His eyes can see. I'm not sure how far his eyes can see.
I don't think there's a place in Israel you can stand and look at the whole Israel.
That's how powerful your imagination can be.
That's how powerful your imagination can be. As far as you can see. As far as you can see. There was a story about a woman who she had a problem. Her husband had died, and her land, she was close to a mountain, right? So the mountain had consumed most of her land. And she needed money. She was broke. She needed money. So one day she was in church and then the pastor was preaching and he was saying that if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, the scripture that Jesus said that you speak to this mountain and it will be cast out into the sea. So the woman called the pastor one day, says, "Come, Pastor, I need you to come and pray for me." The pastor went to the house and said, "You see this mountain on my land? Your preaching has given me faith. So I can see that this mountain, if you speak to it, it will move into the sea." The pastor was like, "What kind of ridiculous practical application is this?" And he laughed about it. And in his heart, he felt like the woman didn't understand his message. But he would pray anyway. So then he prayed it. He prayed, "Lord, let this mountain be cast out into the sea," casually. And he just had a conversation with the woman and he left. Funny enough, the pastor was there and the woman came with a fat envelope. That this is what I've come to thank the Lord, that when you prayed, the mountain has been moved. The pastor was like, "What do you mean? How did that happen?" Apparently, there were some construction people that wanted to build a road. The mountain was in the way. In fact, they wanted to build a road and they ran out of quarry of stones. They looked around and they saw the mountain, the woman's land. And they were like, "Woman, we want to buy this we need stone. We want to buy. Will you sell it to us? And so they paid the woman a huge amount of money to blast the rock, you see, on her land to use for their project. You see, and that way the mountain was moved. And you see, I don't think it was the faith of the pastor. It was the vision that the woman, the faith that she had in her heart. And then you saw that, this thing, I can see a land without a mountain on it. Pastor, join your faith with me. Let's substantiate this thoughts that I have in my mind. You see, so the thoughts are things, and they manifest in mysterious ways. But one thing that is undeniable is that the thing that you see in your mind. My first vehicle, let me tell you a practical story. When I was supposed to get that vehicle, I desired it for a very long time. And I saw other people. I mean, I saw people in my car that, I mean, I'd bought the vehicle, and I was like, I need my own vehicle. And I was calculating my finances. I was calculating my income, and I realized that it is not practical in the next 5 years to buy one. 5 to 10 years with the current amount of money that I was earning, you know. And that was a couple of years ago. And I could see that when I sleep, I could see the thing. When I wake up, I could taste it in my mouth.
Wow.
You know, when I see the vehicle like go past me by the roadside, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I need. Oh God.
Wow.
You know, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't have the money to buy it. But 2 years later, it happened. And I had forgotten the passion and the desire with which I wanted the thing, and the way the thing came miraculously. I didn't buy it with my money. Oh. Somebody sent the money to my account. I was like, what is this? Right? So a few years forward, I looked back and I was like, hey, that is exactly what happened. I visualized it for over 2 years.
Hey.
And in 2 years, it happened. It wasn't possible for me to achieve it. It happened. The vehicle came. It just came. Right? So thoughts are things like especially when it's backed by strong emotion.
And desire.
Right? Strong emotion. Vivid, clear thoughts. It will substantiate. That is faith.
Wow. That means our imagination should also be backed by faith.
Yes. Your imagination is faith if it is clear, it is vivid, and your heart is behind it, and there is no doubt. Then your imagination is faith. That imagination that you have, it is faith.
For those of you who already know TT, he's already been on this podcast to speak about
Sarso.
business. TK Sarso. And so I know a lot of people have already recognized you by your face. There's a quick reflection, because we are talking about the power of our subconscious mind and how it is important for us to use our paradigm to get things. Understand that the voices we hear in your head whenever you try to do something new come from a program that is stored in your subconscious mind. This program is called the paradigm. The paradigm is a mental program in our subconscious mind that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all our behaviors are habitual. We have programs for everything: how much we earn in a year, the quality of our relationship, the state of our happiness, etc. All those mental programs combined formed the paradigm of an individual. And that paradigm dictates the standard of our entire existence and success. The paradigm. The paradigm. If someone is watching us and has heard all the things we've spoken about and wants to change his or her paradigm, what will be your best recommendation?
So my recommendation will be the following.
Okay.
Guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life.
Life.
What do you feed on? What do you feed on? Okay, I'm just paraphrasing the scripture. I'm not too sure exactly what it's saying. But then that's what it says.
Guard your heart with all diligence.
Yes.
For out of it are the issues of life.
Yeah. So, what do you feed on? What kind of information do you consume? You have to carefully select. You have to intentionally filter. You have to consciously manage the information you consume. That comes with the media. That comes with your relationships. That comes with the kind of people that you place yourself around. What kind of information do they feed you with? Carefully, intentionally, consciously select, filter, manage. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you have to also be intentional about rewriting your own paradigm. You have to be intentional. You have to, and the thing about it is that it favors consistency, right? Let's say you want to rewrite your subconscious mind, right? You can do 5 minutes every day, reminding yourself to believe what you want to become.
Wow.
10 minutes every day, reminding yourself to believe what you want to become. Reprogramming your mind into that thing that you desire it to be. Every day, consistently. Don't think about 1 hour, I'm going to reprogram my mind. In the next 16 hours, I'm going to enter a cave and then I'm going to rewrite all the things that are in my mind. No. Do 5 minutes every day. Do 10 minutes. Do 15 minutes every day consistently. That is how you reprogram your paradigm.
Wow.
That's how you get a paradigm shift.
Thank you so much, TK Sarso. This is the first of its kind, but I know that we are going to have a lot of this kind of episodes to help our audience. Myself and TK Sarso, we are on a journey to transform lives. And we want to build a community of like-minded individuals. If you are interested in joining our community, very soon we will be announcing our first seminar, right?
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us a little about it?
So the first seminar is targeting young people, re-educating young people. We just spoke a lot about educating ourselves. So re-educating young people and making them more conscious and intentional about how they manage their personal finances. So we are looking at financial literacy. Okay, so we are literally building a money academy.
Okay. Wow, beautiful.
Right. So to help young people be able to intentionally, intelligently manage their finances and build more.
Wow. So if you are interested to register and to be a part of this amazing, initiative, I know there's going to be the release of the flyer very soon.
Yeah.
And so people should be on the lookout for the flyer and the other information that we'll be sharing across.
And then the Google Forms link will be in the description. They can just...
Okay, so the Google form will also be in the description, and then people can just register and be a part of it. The first edition is happening in Kumasi, right?
Yeah.
In Kumasi.
Yeah.
My name is Lee, and this is University of Life. Until we meet again, cheers to greatness.